This is also an input which is only meant for submitting, so the type should be a submit button. This is the type. I want you to know that this is known as a label for the input field, which is just text, and this label is a label for this first input, and this label is a label for this second input. So we have a tag for the label, which is the label tag. So just wrap around this with the label, then close this one inside the label. Copy the same thing for this one and close it off. The same thing for this one and then close it off. So this is a label, first name, for the input which collects the first name, and this is the second label, which is last name, and this is the input for the last name, which collects information called last name. And we have an item here. Now you can have a value for this input type submit. You can see that it already has a value called submit, and what if you want to change this default one, which is called submit? Then you have a value which should be equal to the text you want to have. For example, I have go and save reload. Now I have a value which says go, so I've been able to customize a value for this one without using the default one which says submit. And now we can also have a value for this inside our input type. You can add different kinds of definitions, and I'm defining this and I'm giving it a value, and the value should be, for example, first name. Save this one, come back to reload. I have the first name here. Now if you're doing a value type of this same sort, you're going to run into a problem, because value is not supposed to be used in an input field, and you probably need another option which will be a substitute for the value, and you need a placeholder instead. A placeholder instead of a value. And the reason why you need a placeholder but not a value, I'm going to strike out the differences. Now if you have a placeholder, I'm using it for the last name, and let's say you have a last name placeholder. Let's see the difference between a value. You can see that the placeholder has a fainted value. It has a fainted text, which is last name, and this one is a very bold one, and you can see that this one is selectable. You can select it and you can highlight it, but this one is not selectable, it is not highlightable. The reason is that value particularly means a value like you have just typed. If I type something, for example, if I type my last name, this is regarded as a value. So if you're using a value inside your code, it can be used as a substitute for something which has originally been typed, something which has been typed by the client himself. So supposing a client forgets to fill this form field, forgets to put his first name and submits the form, then he's submitting what value you give to him in your form, which is first name. But the placeholder will not allow that, and it is still blank. Even though you are seeing the last name here, it has been faded, it is not selectable, it is an ordinary placeholder, and if you submit it, you are submitting a blank page. But when you have a value for the user and he is submitting, he has indeed a value as if he typed it himself. So let's try to do submission of this. We have So I just want us to go through quickly to know about the various types of input that we have. We also have text area, and you close this one. Does not require any input. It's just a text area, and you close it to a text area. Most of you go to a website which has a text area, collects a relatively large information, and maybe the information you're going to be providing will be quite larger than these ones. So the text area is quite larger than this one. You can also define the size, which is the width and the height. You can do it in HTML, you can do it in CSS, and you can see that it is also resizable. You just grab this side and you can move it around so that you have a large text area you can be typing. So let me do BR, another BR. You see, we have a text area, and you can have, let's see, a label for it. You can have a label for the text area which says tell us about yourself. Then you can use BR here. You can see tell us about yourself. You can also have an input type, and the input type says file, and it gives you a button which will enable you to upload. Then you can give it a label which also say upload your image. Upload your image. So you can click this one, then you have an image. You can double click. Now the image name is displayed down here. You can see it here. Use BR on it so that I'm breaking off online. You can say upload your image. Then you have an image here. This is my own picture I'm uploading. So I've been able to do that as simple as that. Now you also have a select field. You have a field which will enable you to select from a list of items. And you also have buttons like radio buttons, which you also be needing to select items. And you also have checkboxes, and let's quickly do that. This input type should be, let's say, radio, and let's save and reload. See what is happening. I need BR on that, another BR on this, reload. And we have a radio button which allows us to select by clicking. You can also say